can be very destructive. So I think that when people really you have to really study yourself. People need to educate themselves, and the best way to do that is through reading. Because, again, through our whole life, we've been programmed to have certain habits, to make a certain amount of money, to have a certain belief about ourselves. And at any given time, we can change this. But you can't change something unless you can't keep changing, or solving a problem on the same level of thinking that caused it. You're just going to go in circles. Okay?
Jennie, we want to find out more about being a success and following your advice, because you're definitely the success we want to follow. But at this point in the show, we want to remind our listeners that you're listening to The Secrets of Success. My name is Bill Horan. The show is produced at 90.3 WHPC FM at Nassau Community College. We'll be right back after this brief intermission.
This portion of programming on WHPC is brought to you on behalf of the Nassau County Bar Association, helping both the public and lawyers since 1899. They are the largest suburban bar association in the country. The Nassau County Bar Association offers clinics where you can meet privately with an attorney to prevent or solve legal problems involving Hurricane Sandy, foreclosure, wills, or elder law. Speakers on almost any legal topic are also available to schools or community groups. They can also help lawyers advance their legal careers and offer a place to network. Learn more about the Nassau County Bar Association by calling 516-747-4070 or visit nassaubar.org.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Secrets of Success. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today we're speaking with Jennie Lynn, author of Magnetic Love. Jennie, when you were in contests, etc., how did you block out the opinions of others? Because, one, there must be a lot of jealousy. I mean, these are bodybuilding and modeling contests, and by the very nature, people are competing against one another to see who looks more handsome, beautiful, lovely, physically fit. And just among our friends, whenever we do something outstanding, there's always a little bit of jealousy that comes out. Well, I wouldn't do that. I'd spend more time with my children, with my dog, taking care of my mother, etc. How did you overcome those difficulties?
Yeah, I think that jealousy is a unique feeling like envy, and I think that one of the things that stopped me from ever comparing myself or being envious was because when they say you're doing that, you're actually counting somebody else's blessings instead of your own. And in competing, it's kind of hard because it's not a team sport, and you are actually competing against other people on stage because you have to, be the best body on stage on any given show. But you're really trying to be better than your previous self. And in anything in life, that's the only person who you should be competing with is who you look in the mirror. And I love a quote that Bob Proctor teaches us. He says that amateurs compete, but professionals create. And so the example he gives is Tiger Woods is one of the best golfers in the world. He doesn't compete against anybody but himself. He wants to be better than he used to be, and he's the best. There's nobody even close to him. So
Very
I think
good
that
point.
when you understand that envy, jealousy, that's a negative vibration, that's a negative feeling. It's only going to attract more of that feeling. So at any given time, I developed the conscious awareness to be able to shift my vibration whenever I felt I was going into a negative spiral. And that takes practice and takes studying yourself, understanding your emotions, and how to be able to, again, course correct and bring yourself back to that positive vibration and focus.
Now, what about the fear of failure? A lot of us, we're not going to compete in a bodybuilding contest or a modeling contest, but we are a little afraid to go into our boss and ask for a raise or a promotion, or perhaps enter into a new school to get a master's degree or a doctorate because, well, we're just poor Joe the Schlump and Mary the Schlump, and gee, nobody in our family ever did that, etc. How do you get over that fear of failure so you can rise to the new higher levels? Right.
So first we have to understand what fear is and where it comes from. And fear is basically an illusion. It's not real. It's like I said, if a bear is chasing you, that's danger. You should be afraid for your life. But a lot of the things that create this psychological fear in us is just an illusion. And a lot of times it's there to paralyze us because our body and our brain is saying, that's stressful, or why are you hesitating, or don't do this. But developing, again, the conscious awareness to understand, and basically have the awareness to not sink into that fear, because you understand that what you want is right on the other side of getting past that. And the more that we can do that, we almost have to train ourselves. Like, it's almost like you have to just jump, or someone has to push you or nudge you or something. But understanding that fear actually comes from something called a paradigm, which is basically, where it's a multitude of habits and beliefs that we have. And whenever we try to break out of that paradigm, like go ask for a promotion or ask somebody out on a date or do something, to accelerate our business, our brain will resist because it wants to keep us stuck in our norm as a baseline. And if you ever try to break out of that, your paradigm will resist. It will fight you. And usually it's in the form of fear. So people have to understand that fear is not real. And they have to be able to face it because it's always going to be there. Fear is, the more, especially when you're striving for high achieving goals, there's always going to be something, some little voice that's saying, who do you think you are? Or do you really think you can do that? Or you doubt yourself. But that's when you have that conscious awareness to be able to shift that and say, again, this is the reward and this is what I'm going to do. And if I have to, get over this, get past this fear, I know that what I want is on the other side of it, and I'm going to do it.
Jenny, once again,
sometimes it helps to have a mentor to coach you through that. That's what helped me.
Well, I'm going to go into that next, but I'd like to let our audience know again that if they're listening and they're kind of fascinated with this, our guest is Jennie, spelled Jennie, Lynn, Lynn. Her book is Magnetic Love. And Jenny, again, please tell us where we can get this and a website where we can find out more.
Yep. So again, I have two options. I have a free gift report for your listeners, and that's at www.thelovegenie.com, and that's TheLovegenie. And then the book is available free, just cover shipping. You get the ebook free. That's at www.jennielynn.com.
And again, I say to our audience, if you want to get started on success, you have to keep it in mind. It's not just listening to this show for a few minutes a week or a half an hour a week or whatever else you might do. Get hold of this book. Take a look at it. Make it part of your daily life and just copy what Jenny did. She made some mistakes. She'll tell you about them. You can avoid them and you can move up that chart because as you're reading it, this is going to motivate you. It's going to make you feel stronger and better and give you the courage and fortitude to go ahead. Keep those habits. Try it 2, 3, 4 more days. And that may be all it takes to help you reach whatever your goal is in life. And wouldn't it be great, an investment of 5 or 10 or 20 days to reach some of your life goals that'll be with you for the next 20, 30, 50 years maybe. So again, the book is Magnetic Love. It's by our guest Jennie, Jennie, and last name Lynn, Lynn. And again, once more before the end of the show, we'll give you that information if you didn't get it down before. Jenny, how important to you was your investment in self-development projects? You mentioned Bob Proctor. Mm-hmm. What role did that play in your success?
So I really found the value of personal development, and it allowed me to do a lot of things. When you expand your mind, you start looking through life with a different lens. You start to really dig deep into that inner potential that's kind of buried deep within us. And it allowed me to perform what's known as a quantum leap, where we're kind of just used to going through what's logical progress, step by step, and having these types of goals. But I really ramped things up and just rapidly accelerated my potential. And what was the most fascinating thing for me is while I was writing this book, I had actually been a victim of this autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, which is autoimmune, a low functioning thyroid. So my body was functioning at a low rate. I had crippling fatigue. I just felt half alive and I just thought I was just going to have to deal with this. I kept it in remission and I ate healthy and took care of myself, but something was still gnawing at me. And what I found was that going through bodybuilding and having this self-love deficit, I actually developed a perfectionistic paradigm. You have to be at tip-top shape to step on stage. And I wanted that validation that I was worthy, but deep down inside, this perfectionism was actually eroding my self-image, and this self-criticism was starting to wear away at my health, and it actually started causing my body to attack itself. So when I started to study personal development, it actually, as I raised my level of awareness to these negative habits that kind of had a vice grip on me and kind of gave me tunnel vision, it really just opened my mind, and I was able to just reaffirm this health and healing. I actually healed myself completely. I made a full 180 in my health. I have more energy than I know what to do with now. I'm obviously fueled by my passions, that desire, that burning desire in me to write this book, to become a coach. I did that when I became a nurse. I did it when I became a professional bodybuilder. And now that I know what I actually did way back then, now I can duplicate it. Now I can teach it. And that's what I've done in the book, is help people understand, again, that if you're not getting what you want in life, you're probably pushing it away on a subconscious level, and that's what I was doing. And that's a big mistake because ignorance is not bliss. You need to be aware of what's going on a subconscious level. And when I say subconscious, we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. We don't have any control over our subconscious mind. That's where our habits are very deep-rooted into that part of our mind. And that's why learning about ourselves, studying ourselves, we actually start to know who we are, what our strengths are, what gifts we have to offer a potential partner. And we actually just are much more confident, self-aware. We make better decisions, and our life starts to change the more we study ourselves. So personal development is so invaluable, and it's the best investment you can make, because what better investment to make than in you yourself to have a better life?
And I never heard that before, but I think that's a great point. If you're not getting what you want, maybe you're pushing it away. And actually, while we think we want $1 million or the big home or the boyfriend or girlfriend or new dog, maybe our actions are really the reverse of what we think we want. And hopefully, if people take a little time to read Magnetic Love, they'll see how that worked for you and how it can work for them to start drawing those things to them. Jennie, we want to thank you so much for being with us. We'd like to remind our audience that the book is Magnetic Love. It's by our guest, Jennie, Jennie, last name Lynn, Lynn. Jennie, would you give us that website again?
Yep. So the free report that they can get in the checklist is at www.thelovegenie.com, and that's www.thelovegenie.com. And they can get a copy of the book for free with a free ebook at www.jennielynn.com, and that's JennieLynn.com. And what I'm going to go do for your readers is anybody who either places an order or signs up for that free report, I'm going to give away a free signed copy.
Well, you can't beat that. You're giving us the book, you're giving us the good advice, and if we want to get started on our journey to success, we have to do it now with the book Magnetic Love. Jennie, thanks so much for being with us today. We'd like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we'll continue our journey to success.